So let's begin. Are we ready to begin, Duke? Okay. So just start sitting comfortably with your shins crossed. Now, if this isn't a comfortable position for you, feel free to extend your legs out or soles of feet together, or you can sit up on your knees. Just be comfortable to begin. And let your hands rest on your knees as you close your eyes. And just begin to deepen your breath. Long, smooth inhales. And long, smooth exhales. And wherever possible, keep your breath moving in and out of your nose. And try to add the slight constriction in the back of your throat. This is called Ujjayi pranayama. And Ujjayi means victorious, prana means life force, and ayama means to extend. So practicing Ujjayi pranayama will victoriously extend your life. If you're not sure how to do it, try this. Take an inhale through your nose. Exhale out of your mouth like you're fogging up a mirror, like and then once again, inhale through the nose. Exhale, fog your mirror, and halfway through, close your mouth. So when you closed your mouth while fogging the imaginary mirror, you could feel that little constriction in the back of the throat. And now just practice breathing in and out, keeping that constriction. It doesn't have to be a loud sound. If you have anybody in the room with you, then the person right next to you would be able to hear it, but the person across the room would not. And it is a practice, so do your best. If you lose your Ujjayi breath, keep breathing always, and just come back to it when you remember. And let's take a moment to bring your fingertips onto a solid surface, so either your yoga mat or your floor, or if you're outside, the grounds. And as your hands touch the earth, it allows you to connect more deeply to your groundedness, your steadiness. So at the same time with your fingertips touching, make sure that you feel nice and heavy through your sitting bones and your hips and your legs. Let those just feel like there's a 1,000-pound elephant sitting on your lap. And now from that place of steadiness and stability, bring your hands together in front of your heart. And take a deep breath in, and then notice and try to feel the lightness and the length from above your waist. So nice, light, airy trunk, arms, head, while the 1,000-pound elephant is sitting on your lap. And then once again, return to your Ujjayi. And we'll set our intention for our practice today. May your practice connect you to your best self, the divine spark or light that is within you. And may you extend that divine, that light spark outward to all beings everywhere, bringing healing and hope and peace. And we don't usually do this in videos, but I like to do it in live classes. So join me if you wish. We'll send out all of our intentions with the divine sound of Om. So exhale everything out and inhale for Om. And then release your hands and let your eyes softly blink open. Hello. Let's make our way onto our backs. So if you're sitting on anything, you can just put it off to the side and make your way carefully onto your back. And then hug your right knee into your chest. And this left leg can stay bent, or you can extend it out, which will be a little more intense. Circle the right ankle in one direction. Keeping your breath steady, circle in the other direction. And then as you inhale, start to extend your right leg up toward the sky. So hold on behind your leg. The knee can be bent or straight. It might be here, it's fine. If you have a yoga strap or a regular belt or a tie, you can put it right here at the ball of the foot. And then hold. Now make sure this right hip is drawing forward so your pelvis is level. And just breathe here. Let your shoulders relax, relax your jaw. So stretching out the hamstrings is one way to help keep the back happier because, it's all connected. If my friend from yesterday who has a pulled hamstring is watching today, you will keep your knee bent so you don't get any pulling in your hamstrings. And that goes for anybody else with a pulled hamstring or that connection of the hamstring to the hip. Make sure that you don't make it hurt. There's no hurting in our yoga. Take another big breath here. And then holding with your right hand, let's exhale out to the right. This knee can be bent or straight, but keep this left hip down and grounded. So the hip's going to want to pop up. Now the 1,000-pound elephant's right here on your hip bone. If your neck feels okay with it, you can turn and look over your left shoulder. And again, straighten out the leg only if it feels comfortable in your body. Take a couple long, smooth ujjayi breaths. And now we'll inhale, guiding the leg back to center. Use your left hand to bring it across. And if you've got a wall there like I do, you might have to scoot over a little. So again, the knee can be bent or straight, looking over your right shoulder if that's okay with your neck. And then straightening it out if you'd like. And then use the wall. Why not? It's there. Now turn your belly up toward the sky as you twist here and take your left shoulder, the bottom tip of the shoulder blade, and kind of scoot it over to the left a little bit. And breathe here. This bottom leg, you can let the toes turn out to the side and it can be bent or straight. And 3 long breaths here. And then let's inhale, guide the leg back to center, holding with both hands, or if you've got your strap, hold there. Draw your belly in, lift your pelvic floor muscles, and exhale. Lift the head and shoulders any amount. If it bothers the neck, hold your head for 3 breaths. And 2. And 1, let it go. So we'll bend the right knee, put the foot onto the mat, and hug your left knee in. And you can keep this right knee bent the whole time. That'll be a little easier, or you can extend it out. Excuse me. Circling left ankle in one direction. Relaxing shoulders and jaw. Circle in the other direction. Now, if this leg is straight, make sure the toes are pointed up to the ceiling so the leg stays firm and engaged while pressing the heel down. Now we'll inhale to extend the left leg up to the sky. It can be bent. It might be over here, and that's fine. It doesn't ever matter how deep you get into a pose as long as you feel a stretch. And the stretch doesn't have to be ridiculously uncomfortable. Just moving little by little. Make sure the left hip is moving forward so your pelvis is neutral. And remember, if you got your belt or your strap, you can put it on the ball of the left foot. And just breathe here. So if the legs are straight especially, we want to firm the muscles, but at the same time, avoid locking the joints. We don't want to over stretch those joints. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then just going to hold the leg with the left hand or the strap in the left hand. Right hand is on top of the right hip. The knee can be bent or straight as you take it out to the left. And looking over the right shoulder if that's okay with your neck. And you can also make this leg straight if you want to. I got the wall to help me. So any amount of stretch. For most of us, you'll feel it in the inner thigh and the outer hip, but there could be variations of that too. Take 2 more big breaths. Keep that 1,000-pound elephant right on this right hip bone. And then let's inhale the leg to center. And knee can be bent or straight as you guide it across with your right hand or the strap in the right hand. Ooh, got a crack. And then if your neck is okay with it, look over your left shoulder. Remember where my microphone is. Now, turn your belly up toward the sky, and from this right bottom tip of the shoulder blade, see if you can scooch it over to the right a little bit. And breathe here. Twists are wonderful for your spine. They keep your spine nice and lubricated and flexible. And this particular series of poses is also great for digestion. One more big breath. And now we'll inhale to bring the leg back to center. And holding the strap with both hands or hold the leg with both hands. Lift the head and shoulders, pull the belly in. Lift the pelvic floor as you breathe. Hold your head if your neck doesn't like it. Just 2 more breaths. And release. Hug your knees into your chest and rock a little side to side. So when you hug your knees into your chest, this pose is called Apanasana. And if you translate that to English, it means wind removing pose. So this one's good for digestion too. Now let's roll ourselves over to the right. We're going to come up carefully. So roll all the way on your right. Use your left hand to press yourself up slowly with the head coming last. It seems silly, but injuries will sometimes happen if you're transitioning between poses without paying attention. You know, get so excited about the next pose. Line up your wrists under your shoulders and knees under hips. Spread your fingers and inhale. Keep your belly pulled in gently as you bring your chest forward. And look up and lift your tailbone slightly. And then exhale, round the back, pull your ribs and belly in, chin toward chest. And again, inhale, chest moving forward, lifting, chin lifting, tailbone. Exhale to round. One more, inhale, bring your heart through the gates of your arms. Look up gently, but keep your belly lifted. And then exhale, press away from the earth. Pull your ribs and belly in, chin toward chest. And now inhale to center. And double check your wrists are in line with your shoulders, knees are in line with your hips. This is another good pose for back pain or low back issues. Extend your right leg straight back behind you, the toes on the mat. Pull your ribs and belly in, and now inhale, lift it from the inner thigh. It's gonna wanna open that hip, so make sure, look back and make sure your toes point straight down to the floor. Then the other thing that likes to happen is a little archy arch in the back, so pull the ribs and belly in to keep that from happening. You can stay there or reach left arm forward, and we'll hold here for 3 breaths. Remember your ujjayi. 2, keep reaching through the arm and the leg. And 1, release, back to table. Now my friends with wrist issues, if that bothers your wrist, do the same thing, but on your fists. So you can give that a try. Left leg back. And then when you're ready, you'll inhale, lift the left leg from the inner thigh, so we're not gonna let that hip open. So look back, make sure your toes point straight to the earth. Do your best to keep this right hip squeezing to center. Now you can stay right with this, making sure that you're pulling in the low belly, the pelvic floor, the rib cage. Perhaps add your right arm. For 3 breaths. And 2. And 1, release it. Okay, back to table. Walk your hands forward about a handprint. So if you do have wrist issues, you could again stay on your fists for down dog, or another option is coming down to your forearms and lifting into down dog here. And if your wrists are okay, then keep them shoulders distance apart, wrists in front of shoulders, and down dog. And then bicycle the legs. So another thing that will help your wrists as well, instead of having your palms flat on the mat, you can turn your fingers out a little bit toward the sides of the mat. You can even grab onto the sides of the mat and hold it. So those are some options for if your wrists start to bug you. So stretch back into your down dog for a couple of breaths. Make sure your legs are hip socket distance apart, and firm your leg muscles. Keep your breath steady. Arms and ears in line. And your outer upper arms, the triceps, are spinning back toward your feet. Your inner upper arms, biceps, turning toward the front of the mat. And then press a little extra in the thumb first finger sides of your hands. Now keep your belly lifted, your pelvic floor engaged. As you inhale, we'll ripple the spine forward into plank pose. Make sure the wrists and shoulders are in line. You can stay here with your knees off the floor or set them down. So take a breath here. We're going to lower down to the earth, but I want you to try to do it all in one piece. You're not doing one of those, like the worm thing. Okay, so pull your ribs and belly in. Knees can be up or down, your choice. Shift forward about 1 inch and hug your elbows in, slowly lowering down. Now, make sure I don't get burned. Let's bring your hands by your low ribs. Now, before we do our little cobra, I want you to lengthen your butt toward the backs of your knees, pull your belly up from the floor, and press your pubic bone into the floor a little bit. So inhale to peel your chest up. Now pull your hands toward your feet like you're a penguin shooting across the ice. My friend Audrey Geary, I learned that one from her. She's a good teacher. And then release. Now, I'm going to do another one that's really good for the back. That one we just did is also, but I'm going to have to move these a little bit out of the way so I don't get burned. bring your arms in front of you. I don't want to set a fire. Okay. Bring your arms in front of you. Now the actions will be the same. Lengthen your butt toward the backs of your knees. Press your pubic bone down a little, but lift your belly up away from the earth. As you inhale, lift your right leg, but toes point down to the mat. So you're going to keep that leg neutral and lift your left arm. And breathe here. Continue to lengthen through the low back. Now, if you can, press a little extra on the arm and the leg that are down, and that'll help you lift the arm and the leg that are up. But keep your pelvis neutral. So you're lifting that back leg from the inner thigh. Take one more breath, and let it go. And now we'll do the other side. So as you inhale, left leg comes up. So you can start with the toes pointed straight to the floor, and you can make sure that your leg is even. And then once you know it is, if you like to press through the ball of the feet, you can. And right arm lifts, firming the muscles, the outer hips firm in. And remember, if you press on the hand and leg that are on the floor, you can use that to lift away. So the more it's just gravity, the more you press down, the more you can lift away. And release. Using gravity to our favor. Bring your hands by your low ribs again, elbows up, and then inhale for cobra. And exhale here, and stay with cobra inhaling, or come into up dog. Thighs and knees are off the floor if you're in up dog, shoulders above wrists. And then come down to your knees or not and stretch into down dog. We're going to stretch out our spine here for a couple of breaths. Still bicycling the legs if you like. So make sure that, again, the arms are shoulders distance, feet are hips width. Arms and ears in line, and you can gaze between your feet or your knees once you're comfortable with looking away from the screen. Good, and now inhale, come way up onto your toes. Exhale, everything out, but keep your butt up. And then inhale, we'll step the feet, many steps as you like, up to the hands. Slide your hands to your shins, inhale. Come halfway up with a long spine, and then fold as you exhale and bend your knees as needed. And now we'll inhale and circle the arms up. And exhale, hands to the hearts. Now we're going to take Surya Namaskar A, and I'm going to do modified for wrists this time. So if you don't want to do it because your wrists are fine and you know what to do, do that. If you're not sure what else to do, follow me because it's great for your shoulders too. Here we go. Inhale and reach up. Keep your ribs and belly in. Exhale. Hinge from your hip creases and fold. Let your head hang. Inhale. Come halfway up, lengthen. As you exhale, you're going to bend your knees and come onto them. And then take your forearms down and stretch back into forearm plank or dolphin plank. And then as you inhale, you'll drop your belly, pull your shoulders back, and lift into Sphinx. And as you exhale, tuck your toes again, lifting back up and lifting your hips into dolphin. And then breathe here. Keep the ribs and belly in. If you're in your dolphin, make sure your elbows don't go wider than the shoulders. They're going to want to. And then inhale onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, keep the hips high, and we'll start to step up. But we have our forearms down, so we'll come onto the knees and walk the feet forward. Lengthen as you inhale. And fold as you exhale. And inhale to rise up. And exhale for Samasthiti. Okay. Let's do one Surya Namaskar A. If you want to stay on your forearms because you have wrist issues, you do it that way. And I'm just going to do a regular. Inhale, reach up. And hinge from the hips, exhale. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to plank. Now remember, knees can be up or down always. And then lower chaturanga, all the way or halfway down. Inhale, you can stay with cobra or up dog. And exhale to down dog. Good. Stretch back here, spread the fingers, press onto the base of your fingers and lift up through your forearms. That way you have less pressure in your wrists. But take the modifications for your body, for your wrists that you need. And breathe. Let your head be heavy for a moment, nodding yes and no. And 2 more breaths. And now inhale onto the balls of the feet. Exhale it all out. Keep your hips high. Look past your fingers. Engage your bandhas. Inhale, lightly step or float feet to hands. And then come halfway up. And fold, exhale. If your legs are straight, shift the weight toward the balls of the feet a little. Inhale, up with a nice long spine. Exhale, Samastitihi. All right, let's turn and face the long side of the mat. Step your feet out nice and wide and turn your right leg all the way out and your back toes in a little. Line up front heel and back arch. As you inhale, bring your arms out. As you exhale, bend this knee over the ankle. So look, making sure knee is in line with middle toes and above the ankle. Drop this front hip down and then gaze over the fingertips. Lift the belly and the pelvic floor and breathe. So this back thigh is pressing back. Back inner thigh lifts a little bit. We don't need the hips to be squared. It's not good for your low back. Now let's take this back arm, the left one behind you. You can rest it at your low back or reach around, hook it on the thigh and reverse. Exhale. And then keep reversing as you slowly straighten the leg, inhale. And stay for your exhale. Inhale, come on up. You can keep your legs this wide or walk in a little shorter stance. It helps me for more stability. This arm, keep it as it is, but if you're wobbly, let it go. Hinge from the hip crease. Reach, reach, reach out as far as you can, and then wherever that hand drops, just let it drop. If you're taking it to the earth or a block, put that on the little toe side of the foot. As you inhale, create length through your spine. As you exhale, maybe turn your chin to face up. If it bothers the neck, look forward or down. And if you do have this half rep with the top arm, you're trying to roll this shoulder head back. Take another breath here. And now looking down, let's release this top arm as if someone's pulling us up from the arm. Inhale, come up. And feet to parallel. Left leg out, back toes in. If you shortened your stance before, make it a little bit wider again. And make sure you're heel to arch. Inhale the arms and exhale bend. Knee over ankle and right in line with the middle toes. Then this back thigh is firm, pressing back, but the inner thigh lifts a little bit. This front hip drops under and lift through your low belly, your pelvic floor. Those are your bandhas. And then relax your shoulders and your jaw. Now we'll take this back arm and wrap it around. You can keep it at the low back, or if you can reach the thigh and grab it and reverse. As you exhale, bend into the front knee a little bit, rolling this back shoulder back. And then slowly begin to straighten your left leg. And exhale here. And then we'll inhale to come up, setting up for triangle pose. I'm going to shorten my stance. You can play with either. Keeping this shoulder stretching if you can, or you can release it. Hinge from your hip crease and lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And then wherever this hand goes, let it fall. As you inhale, lengthen from your left hip crease through the left armpits. And as you exhale, try and turn your rib cage up toward the sky. And breathe. Now we want our muscles to be firmed in the legs, of course, but without firming the knee joints, which is a little tricky. So press your calf toward your shin and ground down through the big toe mound of your left foot. One more long breath. And then let's release the arm back up. Look down to the foot, and as if someone's pulling you up, come on up, inhale. Now we'll take our feet to parallel, toes in a little bit. Take your hands behind you and interlace the opposite one that you normally go to, because we're just going to do one of these. Toes will point in slightly. Firm the legs without locking your knee joints. And then roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, inhale. Now I also want you to try to keep your elbow joints a little bit soft as you exhale and come forward. Because you can lock them, they want to lock, but see if you can soften them a little bit. Now breathe here, and if your legs are straight, and even if they're not, shift a little bit toward the balls of the feet so that the weight is equally distributed into your four corners of your feet. Base of the big toes, base of the little toes, inner heel, outer heel. And then let your head hang. Pull your belly in and up, lift your pelvic floor, and squeeze an imaginary beach ball between your legs. Now, as you're ready to come up, keep all of that engagement. Come up with a nice long spine as you inhale. Good stretch. Take your arms up. Inhale, hold the breath. Either step or hop your feet together. Exhale, and then turn back to the front. Samastitihi. Okay, I promised pigeon yesterday, so here we go. Inhale and reach. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lengthen. So if you have wrist issues, you're going to step back onto your forearms. Otherwise, to plank. Knees can be up or down. Down is a little bit easier. Shifting forward, all the way down or halfway. And inhale, upward dog or cobra, always your choice. And exhale, down dog. As you inhale, float the right leg back and up. Keep your hips level. And then as you exhale, bring your right ankle up toward your left wrist. And pause here a moment. Now, my friends who have knee strain, knee issue, I like to recommend coming onto the back for this figure four or thread the needle pose. But if you know another hip opener that you like, you could do that. My friends in pigeon, if you're rolling onto your right hip, you'll want to have a little cushion underneath it to keep your hips level, because that's going to help keep your knee nice and safe, okay? So inhale, lengthen, lengthen through your spine. If you're already down, you're down, but if you're not, lengthen through your spine. You can stay up or exhale to the forearms or exhale down all the way. And then as you're here in pigeon, just focus on your breath. Make sure your left leg is straight back behind you. And as you exhale, see if you can soften any tension that you might be holding. We're going to stay for a few more breaths. In these last few breaths, see if you can ungrip and release anything that you could be holding, maybe physically or emotionally or mentally. Let it go. And then as you inhale, come on up to your forearms. Take your left forearm parallel with the front of your mat. And then reach up through your right arm for a little twist. Let the shoulder release away from the ear. And if you want a little more stretch, you can reach for your back foot. That's a little more advanced, so be careful with your body. And give it a little stretch. You can stretch out the quad hip flexor a bit. And then let it go. Tuck your back toes under. As you inhale, we'll lift that right leg back and up and give it a nice stretch. And you can open it up, circle it, whatever feels good. And we'll set her down. Let's do the other leg. Inhale, left leg lifts. And exhale, left ankle toward right wrist. Now, even if you didn't have pain in the knee on the first side, but you feel it on this side, again, take the modification. Keep your hips level here. Make sure your ankle stays flexed as you draw the legs in, or you can stay right here as well. If you're in Pigeon, Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, if your left hip is rolling down, then pad it up so your hips are level. That's important to keep your knee safe. You can stay up on your hands. Inhale, make sure the back leg is straight behind you. Or you can exhale to forearms, or you can exhale all the way down. And then relax any tension in your shoulders and your jaw. And on this side, every time you breathe in, take an inhale, say to yourself, I am healthy. And then every time you exhale, say to yourself, I am sending peace to all beings everywhere. Inhale, I am healthy. Exhale, I'm sending peace to all beings everywhere. And you can just do that quietly in your mind as you breathe here. And continue your breathing, and for the last few breaths, just see if there's anything that you're gripping, holding on to, and take this opportunity to just let it go as much as you can. And then we'll inhale, coming onto the forearms. Take your right forearm parallel with the front of the mat. Turning to your left and reaching the arm up, but watch out for this shoulder coming to the ear. Press it away. An option to reach for your foot. As I twist, I see a little spider. He's crawling up his little web. He's just a tiny baby spider. But I don't want him to come onto my head, but I don't think he will. Take another breath here. And release it. Tuck your back toes. And we'll stretch out the left legs. Sweep it out. Remember, you can be on your forearms here as well. Bending your knee. And circle if you like. Give it a good stretch. And then from here, step or hop onto a comfortable seat. And make your way onto your back. Just a little bridge pose. Outer edges of your feet parallel. And line up your heels underneath your knees. Pull your belly in. As you inhale, lift your hips, low back, mid back, maybe upper back. Imagine you have a block right here that you're holding, or if you do have a block, you can hold it here and give it a good squeeze, and then lengthen your butt bones toward the backs of your knees. If you're able to, roll the shoulders under. You can grab interlacing fingers, you can hold the sides of the mat, or just keep your hands flat. Keep your neck nice and long. And breathe here. Press into your heels, and if possible, lift your toes up. Let's take 3 long Ujjayi breaths, maybe lifting into the chest a little bit more if you can, but still lift your frontal hip points toward your low ribs. And let's let it go. And either drop your knees into center or soles of feet together, knees apart. Bring a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart center. And breathe here. And list in your mind or out loud 3 things that you're grateful for right now. And now bring your hands to the outsides of your thighs if they're open, to bring your knees together and hug them into your chest. And rock a little side to side. And now let's extend the legs straight up toward the ceiling. If the knees need to be bent, it's fine. This one is called Viparita Karani. It's a variation. If you ever have trouble sleeping, take your legs up against a wall like this for like 10 minutes in the evening, and it'll help relax your whole body so you can get a good night's sleep. I know since the isolations and lockdowns, people have been having, I've read, people have been having like a lot of vivid dreams and erratic sleep situations. So if you're having problems with sleep, then try this. 10 minutes, legs up the wall before bed. And now we'll stretch out our low back a little bit. So take your hands behind your thighs, bend your knees to start, and bring your thighs in towards your belly. And see if you can lift your butt a little bit off the ground. And then you can stay right here, it gives you a good low back stretch, or you can add a hamstring stretch by straightening out the legs and maybe going in a little bit deeper. So it's kind of like an upside down forward fold in a way. Let your shoulders relax. Good. And then let's release this, bending the knees, taking the feet down. Pick up your hips, shift them over to the right, and drop your knees over to the left. An option to cross right over left. Turn your belly to the sky and look over your right shoulder if that's okay on your neck. You can even scooch that left shoulder blade to the left. And then as you inhale, make your way to center. Take your hips off to the left and drop your knees to the right. Option to cross. Left knee on top of right. Scooch that right shoulder blade to the right and look over the left shoulder. And as you're twisting here, continue to allow your belly to turn toward the sky. And now we'll inhale, head to center, knees to center, hips to center. Exhale, hug the knees in one more time. Lengthen your butt toward the earth, and then we'll set up for Savasana. So take your time to get comfortable. If you have any low back issues, you can keep your knees bent, or if you've got a cushion or a rolled blanket, you could put it underneath your knees. And let your feet flop open. Draw your shoulder blades away from your ears down toward the waist and lengthen your butt bones toward the backs of the knees. Take your arms out and close your eyes. And we'll just stay here for a minute or so. This is the most important part of your practice. When we come out of it, I'll read our quote for today. So for now, quiet mind, quiet body, Savasana, rest. Now, right where you are, take a slightly deeper breath in and let it go. Begin to move your fingers and your toes and circle your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead and stretch through your legs. Now bend your knees, putting them onto your mat or onto your cushion, and roll onto your right side and pause here for a moment. I want you to thank yourself, acknowledge yourself for showing up today and taking your practice. When you do, you're taking great care of yourself, and that is important, especially now. Now use your left hand to make your way up. And our quote today, let me grab it. I have to read it off of my phone because that's where it is. Actually, I'll turn toward you. Where am I looking, Duke? Okay, turn toward you. One of my favorites. This is from Amma. She's also known as the Hugging Saint. The sun shines down and its image reflects in 1,000 different pots filled with water. The reflections are many, but They are each reflecting the same sun. Similarly, when we come to know who we truly are, we will see ourselves in all people. We are all connected. Let's bring our hands together. Hands to your forehead, reminding you to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to your heart, reminding you to have clear and loving intentions. And hands to your mouth, reminding you to have clear and loving communications. Let's send this wonderfully peaceful, positive energy that we all created together as a group this morning to all beings everywhere. Namaste. The light in me recognizes, honors, and absolutely loves the light in you. Thank you. I need to get some chapstick.